Hello and welcome to the Business Fitness Client Development Centre. Within the business fitness content, there's a whole section of frequently asked questions. Many firms are not aware of how to use this valuable and helpful content, so I'd like to show you not only how to use it, but the practical applications. There are two ways you can find the FAQ content. As per usual, you can search for the subject area, or you can go straight into the FAQ section. This is under Procedures, FAQs. You can see the topics cover the general queries that accounting firms field on a regular basis. The FAQs are designed so that your accounting team can help with general questions asked by clients at the time, rather than passing it on to a partner and perhaps having to wait for a response. The FAQs are also excellent for internal training purposes. Rather than having to go and look things up, you can come and read the FAQ report for yourself. The topics we have in here cover ACC questions, auditing, balance dates, business interest, business structures, client gift expenses, commission-based insurance agents and GST, employee accommodation expenses, employee versus independent contractor, entertainment expenses, which is always popular, FBT and company vehicles, fines, foreign investment funds, gift duty, GST ratio option, the Holidays Act, Home Office expenses, KiwiSaver, livestock valuation methods, managing tax debt, minimum wage rates, parental leave, partnerships and allocating profits, PAYE intermediary subsidy, payments to spouses, the PPSA, Prov tax, public holidays, QCs and LAQCs, reimbursing allowances, rental properties, sponsorship expenses, stock take, student allowances and loans, terms of trade, travel expenses, trust administration and legal costs, UOMI, leasing or buying vehicles, and also wage subsidies. If you have any suggestions for FAQs you'd like to see in here, we'd love to hear your ideas. We're always on the lookout to develop more FAQs and help you and your team field those questions. Before we take a closer look at the content, let's discuss how you'd use it in a practical application in your firm. So how can an accounting firm work smarter using the Business Fitness FAQs? The situation where you would use an FAQ typically is when you're dealing with a client, perhaps on the phone, and they ask you a general question. They may be calling specifically to discuss that issue with you, or they may actually just be asking in passing. So a client calls up, and while they're speaking to you, they say to you, I'm considering getting a new company car. Should I lease it or should I buy it outright? What is the difference? As soon as a client says this, you can quickly bring up your Eclipse search and type in the keywords lease, buy, and filter it by procedures and bring up your FAQ. So you can immediately start giving a useful answer to this client without having to stumble about or pass it directly to the partner or director. First of all, you can bring up the script and start reading off it. Obviously, you don't have to read off it directly, but you get the gist of what you should be saying to them over the phone. Your client will really appreciate getting a quick answer from you. Each FAQ also has a report which you can prepare and send out to the client to back up what you've just said. It means not only will they not get their facts twisted after the discussion, but it means that if they need a third party to have a look at what you've said, they can pass that on too. It's very quick to prepare, and we'll have a look at this shortly. You can prepare it and have your admin team pop it in the mail immediately. And of course, this is the sort of report you would also be charging for. So you've turned a quick 5-minute phone call and a piece of advice into productive time. Some of the Business Fitness FAQs also have extra tools linked to them. For an example, like the vehicles lease or buy FAQ, this also has a calculator attached to it. So if the client does have some figures on hand, you can quickly run them and give a bit more information, and that's usable information with examples. If you were to use a tool like this, you can immediately see the results, and you can also send those out to the client with the report so that it makes this even more useful for them. Your client will be very pleased with this outcome, especially if they were only asking you in passing, and you of course will keep up a great relationship with your client. The advice contained in the FAQs, of course, depends on the subject matter, and they can vary in just how much information they give. For example, the FAQ on auditing annual financial statements for a club. This is an FAQ that really deals with how to let the client down gently without offending anyone and without being unhelpful. You can see that the script is very brief but polite, but the report contains a lot more useful information, things that will be helpful to the client. To turn this report into a really nice formatted report to send out to your client, you can use your Create Document function. Simply click Create Document, choose your client, here's Mrs. Brown who called earlier, and choose your report template, and click OK. Not only will this create a nice formatted document, but it will also add a disclaimer on the end for you. From here you can use Replace Fields to change any variables, and you can simply click Replace to change all of these. From here you can save it into your client file and then send it or PDF and email it out to your client. You can see that balance dates changing is a sort of FAQ that has an extra step. If your FAQ answer may result in some sort of other process that you need to do, we'll link the procedure for that to the FAQ procedure. You can see that the Stocktake FAQ is another one that contains extra tools. This FAQ links a form and a checklist that you can send out to your client to help them undergo their stocktake process. This also contains an alternative script in case you've got a client who needs that extra reminder. You may find it helpful to print out the FAQs pages from the Business Fitness Content Guide. If you'd like a new up-to-date copy of the Content Guide, please do give us a call on 0800 10 58 60 and we can email out a PDF. It will help you in future if you familiarise yourself with the topics that are available. You may find it helpful to simply do a search when your client rings up. While you're on the phone with them, you can quickly type in what it is they're starting to ask you. You can see here I'm looking for the FAQ on entertainment expenses, so I've just typed in entertainment FAQ and hit search, and it's brought it up straight away. Your team might find it helpful to use the FAQ content to just brush up internally so they don't have to look up information online or go about it the long way. For example, the report linked to the Student Allowances and Loans FAQ outlines the student allowances and loans rules, regulations and rates. Your team can simply read that report to keep themselves up to date rather than trolling through the StudyLink website. There will be changes to student allowances and loans from 1st of January 2011, so that means that Business Fitness will keep this up to date for you. There of course will also be changes coming to the LAQC's FAQ and also the gift duty FAQ. At Business Fitness we stay on top of this so that you're always providing your clients with the most up-to-date information. If you have any queries about the Business Fitness content or you'd like to speak to our client development or content team, please do call us on 0800 10 58 60. To see what other webinars are on and what other training we offer, please do go to www.bfnzcdc.co.nz. Alternatively, you can email training@businessfitness.co.nz.